obviously we have a negative. We're taking the square root of something negative. So I is going to come into place here, right? But let's go and take a look at it and see. Well, it's raised to an even power. So we know that even if -3, if we evaluated for -3 to the fourth, right, we know that that would be a positive value, right? Because -3 raised to a positive exponent, or an even exponent, is still going to produce a positive solution. So it's OK. We don't need to take this. We're not taking the square root of a negative number because our negative number is raised to an even root, which would make it positive. But what I want to do to undo this, or to simplify this further, is I need to write this, since I'm taking the square root of this, I need to write -3c to the fourth as something to the squared power. -3c. So what I can do is, what if I did -3c squared squared? Right? What if I wrote it as -3c squared, or squared raised to the second power? Well, then we obviously know that these, our square root and our squaring, are going to now undo each other. Therefore, just leave me with -3c squared, which of course I could evaluate. -3c times -3c is going to give me a positive c squared.
Why would you square it?
Huh? Because -3c times -3c.
How do you know to take out the square? Or not the square,
Right?
So we
Because remember, when you take the,
squared.
think of it this way, square root of 4. We know it's 2, right?
Yeah.
2 squared is equal to 4, right? The square root of something squared, those are opposite operations. Just like,
I'm just talking about when it goes from
I know. Well, I know I was answering her question.
Oh, well.
Just like, what's the opposite of subtracting 4? Adding 4. Right? If I say the square root of x equals 5, what are you going to reverse the square root of x to? You're going to square it, right? Because they're opposite operations. They're inverse operations, right? So these two, what they say, cancel out, or they go to 1. Same thing, x squared. What's the inverse operation of x squared? Square root. So if I can rewrite them as opposite operations, then they're going to go to 1, which is just going to leave me with what's inside the radical, which is 2. OK? Make a little better sense? A little bit more sense, I guess you could say. Not better sense. Right, Zach? That doesn't make sense.